I want to talk about you transitioning from player into broadcaster. I mean, why were you always so good, and why did it come so naturally for you? I remember my first year at Sportsnet, honestly, scared to talk to you, right? We didn't have those interviews. I'm pretty sure we got me a couple times, I got you a couple times, but why did those things come so naturally to you?
I think just those interactions that I had with you and with Dan Murphy and Shorty over the years made me very comfortable with it. And I didn't think I'd get into media, to be honest with you, afterwards. I thought I'd kind of be more on the coaching side, but the media opportunities were presented to me. I was told when I retired, don't say no to anything, try everything once.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you don't have to. When I was still kind of trying to figure out if I was going to continue to play, I had Sportsnet kind of ask me if I'd work the All-Star game. And that was kind of the first thing. It was in San Jose, it was close, I was living in California. And I said, if I'm not playing, I'll do that. So I went there, and that was kind of my, other than doing a couple things with Scott Oak that, I don't want to belittle that, but it was just a couple little hits during a game.
Yeah.
The All-Star game was my first real jump into this, and I was doing a three-way color with Craig Simpson and Jim Hewson, and like two pros, two of the best. And that was kind of the start for me to do that. And then I liked it, and I tried a few more things. I had a really unsuccessful podcast with Ryan Kessler. Not just kidding. It was good. We had about 13 episodes. We had some good players on. And that also warmed me up to the possibility of doing media. But I don't know, it's just something that kind of fell in my lap. I liked it. I ran with it. I loved the flexibility it gave me. I was still able to be around my kids at home during the week, which was important because I've missed so much of their lives from playing. So here I am. I'm going on year 6 now.
You're on Hockey Night every Saturday. Everyone knows who you are. Millions watching, obviously, during the playoffs. The Oilers in the most recent playoffs. You're not afraid to speak your mind. You never have been, in my experience with you, obviously, on the ice and off the ice. But do you ever say anything, or do you kind of feel like you maybe have to be guarding some of the things you say?
For sure. I catch myself sometimes under my breath. And for me, the worst times are not when I'm prepared on a subject. It's when I get hit with like a curveball, or Elliot throws like something at me like a chirp, and my natural reaction is to hit back. And I have to remember, I'm not in a locker room. I'm not at home, not on the golf course. I can't hit back the way I want to hit back. So those are the times where I really have to constrain myself. But, for the most part, I got a great team that works around me, and they give me a lot of flexibility and freedom to say what I want. And I'm a pretty positive guy for hockey, so I don't really like to get down on the negative things. Like, I like to show if a goal happens, what the problem was or the breakdown, but I don't really like to pick on guys necessarily, because I remember what that was like as a player. I've done it like one time, and I still hear about it. But no, it's been good. It's a learning process too, and I'm I've learned a lot from the guys around me, the Ron McLeans and Kelly Rudy's and Elliot Friedmans, who've been doing this for a long time.
Those guys have been doing it for a long time, but you're also so not that far removed from the league. So when you talk to guys, are you getting current guys? Are you having those conversations with current players when talking to them, when either preparing for a broadcast or after, if you said something?
I still feel like I can connect with the players because I played with a lot of these guys, played against a lot of them. So when we're doing the interviews, I feel like I can still kind of speak their language. I don't think they look at me as a media guy. I think they still kind of look at me as like one of those old players, one of those old crusty players. So I have that going for me, but that's part of it. Like, I have to understand, I'm a hockey player first and foremost. I'm not a journalist. I didn't go to school for this. I still make some mistakes sometimes, what camera to look at and my IFB and all that. I've actually dialed that all in now. But I have to remember that I'm a hockey player. I have to speak from a hockey player's perspective. And when I'm talking to these guys, it's like we're in the dressing room.